Kia ora everyone, my name's Jared. I work for Turuki Healthcare. I'm a metabolic lifestyle health coach, and for the next 30 days I'm going to be doing something I've sort of never really done before, and not publicly either. I'm going to be documenting a full sort of metabolic fasting protocol in real time every single day, and this is for our community. So there'll be no filters, no editing, any of the hard stuff anyway. It's just going to be straight up honest. We're going to have daily updates on what's happening with my body, my energy, my performance at the gym, and also what the science actually says about it and why it's working. Okay. The reason for this, I sort of wanted to touch on Wegovy. Wegovy is the new weight loss drug that a lot of people are really getting into, and that's great. But what I wanted to touch on was the cost. So Wegovy is about $500 a week, which would equate to around $6,000 a year. So when you stop taking it, the biggest problem is most people put that weight all back on, plus they have other issues like loss of muscle and so on. So, because nothing about your underlying metabolism has actually changed. So the question I want to answer over the next 30 days is this: what if we can activate the same biological pathways naturally through fasting? Okay. This will be with specific foods and through lifestyle. Okay, things like sleep, things like stress, things like exercise, and of course kai. So because the research actually says we can do this, I want to show us how we can do this. Okay, so the 30-day protocol has a bit of an overview, and the way I want to start it is week 1 is going to be sort of starting with a 16 to 18 hour sort of fasting window with a 8 to 6 hour eating window. Okay, so with this we're going to reduce sugar dependence and lower insulin, and then we're going to sort of move into days 6 to 8, and we're going to do a bit of egg fasting. And this is one of the most powerful and natural sort of GLP stimulating foods that we actually have. Okay, and then days 9 to 11 we're sort of going to look into the sardine fasting. Some have heard of it, so you're going to actually get to see it when I do these videos. Okay, omega-3 and protein with strong evidence for natural GLP-1 stimulation, and normally a tin of sardines costs about $2.50 to $3. And then when we get into days 12 to 14, this is where we're actually going to do some really long form fasting. So we're going to look at around 72 hours of water fasting. Okay, then we're going to cycle through stabilization, sort of like a second push, and then a sort of final deepening phase before we're moving into a sustainable lifestyle approach. Okay, now how do we measure it? So I've done a human body scan today, so I've done all my measurements, and I'm going to post this up on our group page in our Turuki 8-week metabolic group. This gives us a baseline. Okay, body fat percentage, lean muscle mass, visceral fat, and hydration. Okay, and in 30 days we're going to compare these numbers, and that data is going to tell a very clear story. Okay, my goal is to reduce body fat and maintain or promote lean muscle mass. Okay, I'll be training over the road at the gym just opposite work, and I'll also be doing things like ERG rowing, resistance work, so weights, and I'll be doing sauna and spa as well, utilizing everything that's over there. They have the pools over there as well, so I'll be doing that. This is all of a part of the whole big scheme of things and the pitch of things, so I'll be documenting all that. I've also done a blood test today, so this blood test is going to have my HbA1c, my lipids, we've done renal function, liver function, and so on, and this too will give us a baseline to look back over the 30 days and see what kind of changes we've created, and hopefully it tells a bit of a story of where we're at. Okay, Is it for everyone? No. So if you have some potential health issues, don't just jump into doing something like this. Check in with your GP. Make sure you're checking in. Because there are medications that can be problematic when we're trying to, additionally add lifestyle in. So we need to make sure we do this very, very safely. So I'm not on any medication, so I don't have any problems, but I've sort of gone through this and really set myself up to really get into it and make a good start, okay? So in closing, so I'll be back tomorrow with day 2, okay? I'm gonna be sharing like how today felt, as in today, how my training went, how well, a lot of things are going for myself, but I'm also going to show you how to make salt water for hydration. And the reason for that is this is a big part that's always missed. A lot of people don't hydrate and don't do it well, so this is a really important part of the process to make sure that we do this smoothly, especially during our fasting periods. So if you're in our Facebook group, drop a comment. If you want to be in the Facebook group, let us know. We'll post that up so you guys can share along in the story, because most of that will be posted there and the rest will be on our YouTube channel. So, if you are going to try or have a go at anything, try with us this week. We're doing 16 and 8 or 18 and 6 fasting. This means you will fast for 16 hours and then say from 12 to 8 p.m. That's an eating window, okay? And then there's no eating outside of those times. If it's 18 and 6, say you start at 12 and finish at 6, or start at 2 and finish at 8, that's your eating window. All your food is consumed in that period, and then outside of that is all about the fasting, okay? So on that note, we will be getting started, and I'm looking forward to sharing, and I hope you come along for the ride, and we'll see you tomorrow. Kia ora.